Welcome back to our Camp Cretaceous challenge. We got another batch of Carnotaurus fossils in here. Probably finishing it? Yep. We'll go ahead and do this right away. Cheaper synthesis guy needs to rest. He can do that while we process this. Altruistic salary guy's probably the one to run here. Then we got research person that we could go do something with maybe. So let's get you started on this. Let's make sure we get you resting. And let's take a look at the research. So, we need to get the Carno in. And then after that, I think we want to work on the berry, which is going to have... Yeah, that's a pretty high genetics requirement. 9 on, I assume, 3? 3. Yeah, so we need this. So we do you, we do either one of the 3, and then we do... cheaper research just to save a little bit of money. So we're good to go on that. We can do berry at any point. We also want Metry, not to add to the park, but if we're going to get Scorpius Rex, we need Tyrannosaurus, Velociraptor, and we already have Carnotaurus. So Raptor I think we'll get automatically, but Rex is behind this branch here, which is Metry into Giga Allo into Rex. And we can't do Mono yet. That'll be another future thing. So I think we might as well knock this out here. So cheaper research, and then we need some genetics. So it's going to have to be you. And it's worth the discount here. I guess the question would be if it's worth the scientist being away, and I think it is. It also speeds it up, which is not irrelevant. Let's do that. Let's knock out the Metry research. So that's a minute, 2 minutes here basically for everything to go.
I do this one myself, but I think you can handle it. Read the objective and see if you don't agree.
So build an aviary would be good. We could easily pivot over to doing the research for that. I'm not entirely certain the aviary goes in this series. It's in my notes, like my planned notes for what the park build looks like, to have a Pteranodon Dimorphodon aviary, of course. But we need Scorp and T-Rex for sure, right? And Scorpius and Tyrannosaurus are both going to provide a large amount of appeal. So there's an argument that with these large appeal dinosaurs, we might not need an aviary. I'm also much more interested in emulating, like, we've already set up like the gyrosphere, quote-unquote, section, even though we can't have gyrospheres with the building set we've chosen. So I really want to get like Brachii in and stuff like that too. Anki is pretty high valued. We definitely need Anki for the bumpy skin. We saw Sinoceratops is also a top tier dinosaur. So I don't think we're going to commit to an aviary until much later in the run. Amenities is free, so we'll do amenities. Why does this keep disappearing? It's really strange. I think we'll go shutter the food amenity that's over here. Yeah, it's not even making us money. Oh, it's also needs to be reconfigured, I guess. Whatever. These are going to be really finicky. This is something we've seen previously, of course, where the if you're not like have a stable appeal, your amenities just flip-flop in what they're doing all the time. They're really hard to actually keep level in that case. There's probably an argument to just keep like an infotainment alongside the fossil display, or even the karaoke alongside the fossil display. We'll keep an eye on these for now. They're still fairly new to the park, so they're still we're still kind of figuring out what the typical... Oh, see, now this one has gold here. Still figuring out what the typical income level looks like, is what I was in the middle of saying. Yeah, but these ones aren't pulling any gold/yellow. Well, whatever. We do need another set of buildings down here too, but I want to get the Carnotaurus in. We want to get Toro before we do that. Who is ready. Okay, so, Carnotaurus. We're going to go ahead and straight up go Toro. I want long-lived. And I don't remember if the Carnotaurs are solitary or not. They should be, thematically. We've never seen a group of Carnotaurs. But unfortunately, there's certain ways this game deviates from the expected trends. And interestingly enough, there's no solitary gene, is there? Like, you've got things like antisocial social, where you could make an argument that, like, if this was a slider that went in two directions, you could also use it to control population. But it's not like a thing. Tolerant increases the amount of things you can cohab with. Social here is just like interactions. As far as I know, social really is just to provide extra dominance, and it doesn't actually really. I wonder. I mean, there should be logically a gene that affects the amount of members of a species they want to cohabit with, but they're just, as far as I can tell, there isn't, because this is environment. Well, whatever. Long-lived. And I'm not sure if there's much of a point in doing anything else. I guess we can put a point of quenched in here. We're throwing 20 thou, and it makes no difference on genetics, so we might as well. It'll make the dinosaur slightly less likely to be weird and die from not drinking for some reason, which should never happen, but... Well, the game ain't quite bug-free, so it very well might happen. We'll know when the eggs are done, I think, if they need a friend. If they do need a friend, I guess we'll just release multiple Carnos. And I think we'll target putting them in over here. So we should go ahead and get that set up. And if they can't fit in that area, we'll have to adjust it a little bit. So, flatten out, something like this. Also, we should be sending a dig team out. I didn't do that. Forgot. Let's get this flattened out here real quick first, and then we'll go ahead and look at a dig team. Then we'll go ahead and grab the Carnos and get them synthing. Is this all lower elevation, or is this a hill? Both. It is a hill, but also lower elevation by the water. Let's go ahead and smooth out the hill at least, because that's just going to be a weird obstruction to building other stuff. Like, the little elevation differences are good when at least they're good. The elevation differences are good when at least the water's in the lower elevation. It looks really weird when you have the water on a hill, because that doesn't make any damn sense with how water tables work. But here, this looks pretty good with the water down there at the lower level. And then the viewing gallery, I'm thinking, goes in something like this. We could also put it in like this. Either way, we're missing part of the lakefront, so I think this is the better spot, in my opinion. We could potentially expand this out in a wedge here if we need to. Or we could expand it back. If we expand it back, it would make more sense to put this here. Yeah, actually, this back section is mostly unused. We might be able to fit another small enclosure in there. Two, that's the primary benefit, or primary direction to actually expand in. So let's flatten this out more here, actually. We can do, like, more of a cliff on this waterway. I think that's okay. We can keep this pretty steep there. And actually, let's go ahead and just make this follow the water more, all the way back into there. And then smooth that back out a little bit. There. That's not too bad. And then let's go ahead and put the viewing gallery in. Skew it this way a little bit so that it can catch that water down there if it needs to. Yeah, potentially this is also a viable spot to put in a small carnivore or something. So we might plan on doing that. I was going to call this the Carnivore Quadrant, but that kind of breaks if we have 5 carnivore species in the area. Let's just ballpark this to the middle. I think that's pretty close. It actually looks really good. Better than I think some of the other middle, quote-unquote, sections like this one do. Because this one's definitely skewed pretty far towards the side because of the hatchery. The hatchery is originally what we laid it out with. So we're not too concerned about getting it perfect. We can put shops here, probably. Another set. Our shops are really underperforming, but also our density of species here is really low, which should prop up these sets of shops. We're building a really sprawling park, so it might make more sense to stick with the medium amenities and not ever do the large ones, too. All right, so, Carnotaurus. Oh, dig team. Right, what can we do? Amarg, Herrera, Pterodactylus. None of those go in the park. Oranosaurus. We need Orano. What else do we have access to here? Toro, Struth, none of those go in Camp Cretaceous. Troodon up in Alaska doesn't either. Yeah, so none of that. Dimorphodon's available. So we've got Dimorphodon, we've got Orano. Compy. We need Compy probably too. That can wait too. That's kind of just like free variety, really, more than anything. Let's do Orano. That's a bigger gain than Compy would be. Dimorphodon's too premature to do right now. Plus, we want to see the Orano skin. Compy's not adding anything new. There's a lot of logistics for this. We need to keep the welfare people available for the Carno synth. Our welfare totals are really low. We might need to hire somebody. I guess we grab positive influence here. It doesn't make any difference which one of these you grab as far as welfare goes. I mean, I don't remember now that I'm thinking about it if hatching an egg is pure welfare or if there's some logistics connected. I think it's pure welfare, but sure, go ahead and do it. We'll send those 3. That's fine. It doesn't matter. 3 viable eggs. Oh, does it tell us? No, just batch size. So it doesn't tell us social. Aggressive. Okay, what we'll do 1 Toro here. With a non-aggressive. Although if we do an aggressive, you know what? Okay, here's the argument. Toro is aggressive. He should be an aggressive Carnotaurus, right? Thematically, he just ought to be. We can do 2, and then if the social's not 2, we could sell it. Or we could do 1 to have Toro be special, and then we could just put some other regular Carnos in. I think I like that better. I think that's cooler. Quenched or Fit? I think I'd rather have Fit. I think Fit. I mean, they're pretty. Oh, Quenched reduces the water needs in the enclosure. Oh, that's actually way more useful than I thought. That actually makes Quenched really interesting for like baryonyx. Huh. Okay. Cool. But we're gonna do Fit because their water requirement's probably pretty low anyway. And then we have just enough welfare to do this. All right. Give me a Toro. 1 Toro, please. Okay, so the minimum population for Carnotaurus is in fact 2. So what we'll do is we'll have Toro here chill in the hatchery for a second. We'll get some new Carnos going. I think for these we'll do the regular film pattern, which will be, yeah, Death Valley Rana. I think we'll stick with Quenched. I think we'll pay the extra here just to do this right now, too. Okay. Yeah, we'll get this running while this dig site's still going. Because, yeah, the Carno batch will be back in before the dig finishes anyway. So then we'll pick 2 Fallen Kingdom Carnos to pair up with the Toro, which will also highlight the difference between Toro and the other Carnos, which I think will be fun. So, we've got a variety of eggs. We've got 1 more aggressive Carno. We're not going to do that. It also means Toro should be the alpha by default if we release him first, which will work really well, in theory. I think that's how that works. We could do the Docile. I think the Docile's phenomenal. Carnos do seem to attack the Jeeps a lot. Maybe that's just my imagination. I don't know if they actually do have different aggressive. Like some hidden aggression stat that dictates how much dinos attack vehicles. I feel like that was the thing in the first game. Like Herrerasaurus, for instance, felt like it attacked vehicles a lot in JWE1. And then we've got Long Live Fit or Long Live Quench Nocturnal. I'm thinking we go with the Quenched one. So let's grab these 2. Actually, we could do 4. If they fight and somebody dies, we might want these 3 now rather than later. We could run the risk of sabotage, but sabotage risk is high right now too. Let's go ahead and rest him. We'll wait on these eggs. This dig site will be back in a minute, and then we'll have people. Let's get a ranger team as well assigned here. So right now you're assigned to this and this. Why don't you go do this, and then we should repair this stuff at some point. Get the medical facility repaired. That's something we can repair while the park is live and not really lose anything from it. That's about it. Yeah, next time there's a storm, we'll have 2 Jeeps at least, so we can go out and do a lot more. Okay, fossils are in. Let's get the Carnos on the way first. So a 3, a 2, and any of the 1s, except we want specifically this one so this guy can do fossils. We never rested the scientist. That's my bad. Forgot. Rest you. And fossils. Sell. Sell. Good haul of Arano. It'll be not enough. We do have to go out for a second dig team for sure. We'll get these 4 processed though first. We can't do a dig team anyway until the Carnos are done and the other people are back from resting. So that's going to be 2 minutes there. So we're going to go ahead and wait for the other Carnos to get done. Okay, our next contract is here for the month. I think a Park Appeal is probably a pretty good choice. 670k with 135k bonus for doing it quickly, and when we have 4 Carnotauruses in the incubator, seems like a clear win. Although look at this shit, 1,400,000 for the fight. What the fuck? I've never seen a contract worth that much. We're still doing this one because we're not going to make Dinos fight. But I mean, those fighting contracts should reward a huge amount like that. 5% appeal needed. I mean, we're getting a new species and 4 fairly high appeal dinosaurs. It should work. What are you guys up to? Honestly, that's a great, like, Camp Cretaceous Ceratosaurus pairing right there. That's good stuff. The gray skin is perfect for this. Love it. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, the Carnos are all ready to go. We'll go ahead and grab Toro. Release via airlift Toro. And then these guys, we have to wait for Toro to be on the ground. Oh, no, we don't. Just out of the hatchery. Okay, cool. And then we can go ahead and grab you. 1, 2, and a 3. Let's go ahead and toss down the goat feeder now. Oh, damn. The appeal contract popped before they landed. I'm curious about that now. Hold on. Let's pause here for a second. Goat feeder. Let's put the goat feeder over... I think central is pretty good. We'll put it right there. Also, there's like this browner patch here, like this path kind of cutting through here near the waterfront, which makes the goat feeder look pretty good there. How did we make that appeal contract? Carnotaurus is now our star dinosaur. Minus 300 appeal out of view. So what it is, it may be that it's the total appeal in the park, right? So if our total appeal here is now 32% with the introduction of Carnotaurus, which gave us an additional species reducing the penalty, plus the appeal of the Carnotaurus, we hit the 32% base appeal, and then the actual appeal bringing money into the park is actually lower because the Carnotaurus isn't on the ground, which is why we have the minus 300 appeal out of view. So the contract doesn't actually take into account the appeal total that's actually visible, which means the contract is reliable. Also, I thought this was lowered. This is higher terrain. I hate it. Well, whatever. It's fine. Well, there's Toro. The differences in the skin are pretty subtle at a glance. Lighter across the top is the big thing. And then I think the body, the way the striping or the speckling or whatever you want to call it, the darker part of the body colorization is a bit different on Toro in terms of its pattern. I don't know if there's any other differences in like the eyes or like the horns or anything, but I mean, it's just a skin, so it should be the same like horn shape, I would assume. But they do change the bumpy skin and actually like make the horns different, so they could change the horns on Toro too. Yeah, big thing is definitely the lighter color on the top. Well, there's Toro. Let's get the environment here, too. We need sand. We need open space. We have no need for trees. I'm going to go ahead, max radius. We're just going to clear the paddock out of all veg. Because we'll have a bunch more carnos coming in, and we need to make sure that we can meet the requirement within this sized enclosure, if possible. Then we'll go ahead and start to add some sand in here. Let's feather it a little bit along the edge if we can to get kind of that mixed texture with the grass. Feather it up here towards the rock. And then we can add a little bit of decoration and vegetation to this once we get the carnos in and everything is good.
I'll keep it brief, and that's it. Done.
Plenty of open space. Prey is good. Plenty of sand. Plenty of water. I think this should work.
You could recognize this predator immediately by the horns on its head.
He does a sit. Okay, that's beautiful. You're a beautiful, beautiful boy. I'm gonna pause and take a screenshot. All right, we can do some finer comparison between the skins here. So Toro still doing his thing versus the regular. I'm just curious if there's any difference in the horns mostly. I gotta find Toro again. I'm not sure if there's supposed to even be any difference in the horns. I'm just curious if there is. If you look at it from the front, I think they're, well, your guys are too different. I need like the same like view. Damn it, I keep clicking on the other ones that are airborne. Toro's got like this flat arch. I need to see this from lower. I don't know. Is there a difference? There actually might be. The faces, maybe it's just me, but I think they do look fairly different. I would need like a perfect side by side. Toro's face looks thicker. You see like on the side here by the eyes? He's got a squarer head. This one kind of has a little bit of an hourglass to it where it like arcs inward by the eye sockets. You see that? Like from where the jaw connection is up to the horn, it has this very like hourglass shape. But then he looks much squarer.
Legs can get this dinosaur moving as well.
Also, the face on the side, yeah, he's got like a ridge behind the horn. I guess that's there. It's just much more pronounced because the color is brighter on Toro. The jaw colorization is different. Toro's lower jaw is much more distinct versus the upper, whereas it's much more back and forth splotching on the regular Carno.
So, problem.
Okay, well now Toro's up, so we can get a look at him when he's, yeah, his head is definitely remodeled. I'm not losing my mind on that, right? It's totally remodeled. Interesting, they actually did, it looks to me like they did remodel this. The horns look smaller. The regular Carno's horns kind of look like they're closer together. And Toro's look like they're further apart and smaller, maybe. Are there any changes to the spikes on the back? It's like 5 rows of spikes. No, it's like the same, like 5 rows. It'd be nice to see them in a fight together, maybe. Or a social animation or something to get a really, like, a close-up look. That's not what I meant, not you guys. I need Toro. Okay, all the Carnos are down. All 4. The sand is just barely good. I'm going to go ahead and expand the sand a little bit. I'd like there to be enough of a safety margin that their territory can readjust a little bit. That seems pretty good. Okay, Toro, are you going to do something with this one? Yes, okay, perfect. Perfect side by side. Absolutely great. Okay. So, absolutely they're different. Is Toro thicker? Toro looks like he's thicker. Absolutely. Look at the neck. Holy shit. Wait. Am I, like, on the right scale? Yeah, they're, like, standing side by side. So Toro's got a thicker neck. He's got entirely different folds here. Wow. I'm actually amazed by that. He's, like, really different. I wouldn't have expected it to be that different. That's kind of fascinating. Yeah, so you can see, you follow... Yeah, like, the head and neck is really different between these two, it looks like, to me. So Toro, it looks to me like the jaw's a little bit thicker. We've got, like, an entirely redesigned lower end of the neck. It, like, comes out and up. This one looks much straighter. The position of the horns versus the eyes looks a little bit different. Like, these are slightly further back, it looks like this direction versus these ones, which are much more directly above the eye socket, I think. The eye's a different color. The eye looks different in terms of, like, modeling a little bit, too, to me, maybe. Toro's head looks like it's rounder altogether. This one is pretty rounded in the front, but it flattens off, I think, a bit more, and Toro seems to curve in more of a proper semicircle here. It gives him more of a raised top of the skull, which makes the eye look lower, maybe? Damn. Quite the contrast. Toro's arms look thicker to me. Maybe an illusion. Can be hard to tell. The legs look pretty much the same. And I can't really tell if there's much of a difference in the tail. Toro does look thicker in the body, for sure. Damn. Oh, that's a good chance to see some stuff too, is like right on top of each other like that. Well, that impresses me that they put that much effort into redesigning the Carno for Toro. This is a good chance to look at the tails. Yeah, I think the back half of the body's basically the same. Are the spikes in the back the same? Maybe it's just me, but it looks like Toro might have more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's like 10, like right above the hip, and then another 3. Like 13 kind of above the hip. No, it's the same arrangement, where there's a set of 10, and then there's a set of 3. Yeah, I think the spikes are the same on the back. So it's basically, the body's thicker, the head's redesigned, the neck is changed a little bit, and the arms are hencher. But then the back and the legs and the tail seem to be the same, more or less. I'd be really interested to see like a direct model comparison from somebody. I don't have the technology to do that, so. Though that's cool. I dig it. I really dig it. We're wasting a bunch of time here without running anything right now, but that's fine too. That's fine. This series is not hard. This is not... So, we can't make this series hard. Sandbox doesn't really provide that opportunity, unfortunately. But, besides that, the series is much more about, experimenting. Or, not experimenting, checking out these dinos. Okay, so if we rest you and hold you back, we actually might be able to do a research project here, too. Let's go get some Arano, let's get you rested, and maybe we can do a research near the end here, too. Oh, is Toro the alpha? He is! Toro is the alpha. Fucking heck, goat up and gobbling it right down. Alright, cool. Cool. Well, where are we going to put the Arano? Maybe the galley pen? Although the galleys were surprisingly close on their margins. Ground leaf. And the paras were going to be an issue if we put paras in here with the brachis and the rest of the herd. We also need stegos somewhere. Or cynos somewhere. No, I think we need stegos somewhere. Stego and Anki can't cohab, I think, is what it is, right? We can just get the Oranos and then figure it out from there. Person is rested. Ah, Baryonyx is available. Yeah, let's get the berry going. Perfect. Okay, we'll do the berry research. We'll get the Orano next, and then we'll do the Baryonyx. And then where will that leave us at for skins? We have Parallax, A and B. We have Carnotaurus.
This job has got your name all over it.
Then we'll get Oranosaurus.
That's who it's addressed to.
We need Kentro. I'm forgetting Kentro. Oranosaurus. We can do Kentro right away too. And then we have late game is Bumpy, Rex, and Scorpius. And Mono. Wait, that's 9. But that's right. Isn't it 8 species in the DLC, but I counted Parallax twice for skins? I think that's correct. Increase the size of the largest territory population. Oh, interesting. That's a really cool contract. Okay, so in the first game, I really liked contracts that would like add this dinosaur to the park because it allowed me to do a special challenge run that I really liked where I built the park solely based off contracts. Like, I let the game decide which dinosaurs would make it into the park. And I always wanted some mode like this, like that in this. I was hoping it would be the expeditions where you go out and find live dinosaurs, the live capture missions. I was hoping we could have a park based solely on those, but they're too rare. I don't think it'll work. So it's really cool that they have at least something in here tying back into bringing in specific dinosaurs. I suppose you have these modify in a particular way as well, but yeah. I mean, that's a challenge. Even with these contracts, that won't work, but I do like these kind of things. So this is going to be Gallimimus. Bring in more galleys. It's easy to do, and it's a really high reward. Oh, wait, is it more galleys or is it paras? Because we have 9 Luxes. I mean, we could do another batch of Lux. Let's do it. Let's check it out. Vehicle under threat. Yep, classic Carnotaurus behavior. I hate that this minimizes every time now. Increase the size of the largest territory population to 11. So is that galley? Or do we only have 8? No, we have 9 galleys. I think I saw some red in there. Nope, it's my imagination. Now, I'm wondering if this is galley or not. Let's do galleys. That's easier to do. Death Valley Rana. We've got that, and we've got some social. Seems good still. Don't have the scientist for it. We'll try Gallimimus and see if that takes. Hopefully it's coded as like have a population reach 11. That's what I'm hoping here. Also, might want to consider a meat feeder in here too. Because sometimes things are a little weird. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to throw down a regular meat feeder as well. Make sure they don't get hungry and attack each other because we do have Toro as an aggressive one. I mean, obviously we haven't had any issue with the Ceratos, but Ceratos seem to be fairly chill, generally speaking. Okay, so research done. Give me galleys. I'm just going to take 2, the minimum we need, rather than push for more. And there's our fossils. Sell you. Sell you. Sell you. A lot of Oranosaurus here. Hopefully we're done with it. We can't really check. Yeah, we'll process the amber in this. Plus another amber gets us up to 80. We've got to be like done with this, right? Let's go ahead and extract this with, I think, you. Let's get our galleys coming, and then we'll go out and dig up some baryonyx too. Long live fit, long live fit, long lived. Social, long live fit, social, long live fit. We'll take these two. 120k, we need 3 welfare. That's going to be just you. And let's do a berry dig. Let's get, oh yeah, Limbo, Grim, and Chaos. Yeah, so it's like, is it 8 skins? Is that what I'm thinking of? So 3 berry, Kentro, Anki, Carno, Rex. And then Para? Times 2? That's 9. Fuck, I don't know how many skins there were in this pack. I'm pretty sure we've covered everything that's in it. I just can't remember why I thought 8 was an important number for this DLC. Maybe it's 8 dinos total. Berry, Scorp, Mono, Kentro, Orano, Carno, Rex, Para. No, it is 8 dinos total. That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm not insane. I was sort of right originally. We'll do these two. A little bit faster dig is fine. We'll do a quick cut while the galleys cook. Okay, we've got our park infrastructure going in here to support the Carno exhibit in the new section of the park. Our galleys are also ready. Let's go ahead and toss these guys out here by airlift. 1, 2 additional galliminuses. They should have plenty of margin there for just a couple additional galleys. We'll have to see if the contract completes. If not, we got to do some paras. Vehicle under threat again. Classic. If we see this tick up to 10 at least from the first galley, we'll be good. Dino eggs. Give me that sweet, sweet 130k. Okay, let's process some more Orano. It's all mixed in. Why did this, like, reshuffle? You see that? There's an Orano right here buried between 2 baryonyx fossils. Why do the fossils reorganize themselves? That's awful. Why do that? Why would you do such a thing? We can do this. No. We do that. 6, 6, and a 5. Actually, we can't finish the Orano. Oh shit! Wait, do we have enough? We can't finish it this time, so we can actually do this and this. Might as well get the full, experience. Also, I was just thinking about this too. Getting the 3 baryonyxes is going to suck, because we're going to synth 3 separate batches, taking 1 baryonyx from each batch. And then we're going to have to, like, release the first 2 before we get the third out. And I don't know if their pop supports just 2. What we could do is, if we're more worried about the population... No, we can just release 2. They won't be in the red. There's no way they'll be in the red, especially with 2. Yeah, they'll be fine. Resting, fossil extraction. I guess we'll go do a berry dig. Oh, unless it's done. It shouldn't be. With 2 dig sites, it should be done. Our researcher person's resting now anyway. Positive and genetics guy can go, I suppose. Oh, but if we want to do paras, we might need you. We'll do the cheaper... Oh, that's cheaper synthesis, though. Maybe we'll just do these 2. It's overdoing it, but then that shaves off duration and stuff. That's fine. Okay, so... The galley's not... Wait, was the first one delivered? No, okay. So we still have a chance for this to work, because they haven't been added to the territory yet. Yeah, so there's 10. Merged. Okay, it works. It works. The galleys is all we need. Awesome. That's incredible then. Now that's an interesting discussion on meta, like economy meta for like challenge mode now. Having a small dinosaur, super cheap in the park, that has the largest population is actually really valuable for this particular contract. Because at any point you get this contract to pull in like $1 million or more, and all you have to do is burn like a very tiny amount of money to clone a couple of galleys to add to the herd, or struthies, or even probably pachycephalosaurids, or even some of the other like bigger species that are pretty cheap. But they're harder. They're probably harder to maintain a large population for.
Turns out I was right. Well,
That's super good. That's such a good contract. That's really nice. Well, we'll end this episode here. We'll bring in the Aranos probably next time once we finish the genome, of course. So look forward to that, I suppose.